Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Through the Curtain. This is a Talking Talent episode. We are coming to you live from Aylett, Virginia at CPW's Love Hurts. I am your host, Tommy T. I'm joined by my co-host, Double K. And once again, behind the scenes, we have Smokey Z. We will be covering tonight's event after each match, offering similar comments to what we've done in the past, but really focused on the matches at hand this evening. Folks, we appreciate you joining us, and we look forward to the evening. Folks, in our first contest, we expected to see Lavishing Leo Kirby and Ray Vex challenge the Georgie Bulldogs. That's not what we ended up getting.
Not at all.
But we did end up getting to see Chris Sharp, and we got to see the return of Kid USA.
How crazy was that?
I don't know exactly what we witnessed. I think you're still going to have difficulty explaining this to your fiance.
I think she's even more shocked now than she was.
Oh,
I'm shocked.
Yeah, it was. I'm not even really sure what to say. It was just great to see Kid USA back in the ring, but concerning to see Kid USA and Leo Kirby in the ring.
Kid USA
right.
In the ring.
The real Kid USA.
The return.
And with their special guest tonight, Chris Sharp, he is here on his birthday. Folks, you might be able to hear them singing Happy Birthday in the background. But this has just been a great way for us to start off the night.
Wow. Well done.
And we were just witness to a brief moment where we got introduced to Ace Dalton, and we finally found out who his best friend was.
Yeah, he does have a best friend, folks. And it's Rip Sawyer himself.
It was indeed Rip Sawyer. And Ace played to the crowd a little bit. I don't think the crowd appreciated what he had to say.
It was a little strong-worded at times, absolutely.
But it was a great moment for us to learn who he was. And we learned that they are clearly here to do what they want to do and could care less what CPW has in mind for them.
Yeah, I think they made that pretty clear, and so I guess we'll just have to wait and see what that is.
I think we will. And now we're getting ready for our Battle Royale this evening. So now we have our entrance for the Battle Royale coming in for the evening. I've seen Salvation, AK God of War is here. El Burrito is going to be in the ring.
John Washington is now making his way from the locker room.
Yes, I thought it was KR Superstar with a child, but it is indeed John Washington.
Yeah, it is. It's him. Just listen and you can hear it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. John Washington, definitely one of the louder performers that comes out throughout the show. But it's true to his character, so I can appreciate that.
He knows how to make an entrance.
Yes, we can see several folks in the ring.
I see AK God of War climbing it right now.
Yeah. So, we did see there's some other folks in that I'm not familiar with. So we'll see if we can get names for those folks from the CPW folks so we can recognize them for their participation. So we were just witness to CPW has allowed a fan to get into the ring.
This is insane.
That's going to participate in this battle royal. And just out of the mouth of the Deputy Commissioner, Ronnie DeVault, if this fan can last 5 minutes in the ring, everybody will be let in free to the next show.
Wow. And to jump in here, we here Through the Curtain were asked to verify the agreement between CPW and the fan, verifying that he is indeed legal to get in the ring.
The document was signed. It was dated.
It's on the up and up,
folks. This is one that CPW has pulled over our eyes. So
wow.
Let's see how this turns out.
Here we go.
And now that we have wrapped up the Battle Royale, we are seeing Salvation standing in the ring as the final man and conquering the other 10 people that were in this battle royal with him.
Oh, it was a 100% dominant performance, man. And he threw Jeff Gordon out for that last elimination like a paper airplane, man.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this guy before. We talked about him when we did our last review of CPW. So I'm super excited to see him get the spotlight at the end of this match.
Absolutely, man. He has earned it. He looks the part. He is the part. Again, dominant performance right there.
Folks, so if you are anywhere near a CPW production, we highly encourage you to come out and attend one of these shows for these folks.
Absolutely.
One thing that I can tell you about the performers that come into this ring, regardless of how long they've been doing it, what their veteran status may or may not be, these guys are dedicated to what they're doing. We got to see El Burrito again in this match, so I'm happy with the product that we've seen so far this evening.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great show. You know, just looking around at the fan reaction here, everybody is engaged with every single thing that we've seen tonight. It's exciting. Fans are screaming, fans are standing. What more, honestly, do you want on a Saturday night in King William?
Yeah, I've got to say that out of the many CPW shows that we have seen, this is the first one that I've seen as much interaction between the crowd and the performers in the ring as we've seen so far tonight.
I've seen fans standing all night long. You know, if our listeners could see what we see over to our right, that entire section has been on their feet all night long.
Yeah, I mean, from the moment that we had the opening bell after the national anthem, it has constantly been an environment of energy, unlike what we've seen before at the CPW shows.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They've done a phenomenal job with, stepping their game up. I don't understand why anybody wouldn't come check it out now.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see RC back with some hair on his head after he got stuck in the lawnmower the last time we saw him.
I still stick with what I said earlier. I would not pay for that haircut.
No, I'm going to agree with you. I wouldn't pay for that haircut either. But, and now we are seeing an episode between the commissioner and the deputy commissioner of CPW are interacting with RC. So it's going to be interesting to see where this is going. And, it's just going to be interesting to see how they continue this storyline between Phil and Ronnie. And that just wrapped up the Atomic Dog Pork Chop versus the All-American Jeremy Rhodes.
But I don't know if Pork Chop's night is done yet, though.
Yeah, it didn't look like it there for a second. Midway through the match, Ace Dalton and Rip Sawyer came out and sat at ringside for Pork Chop's match.
Chairs in hand, though. Chairs
in hand. That match had some great spots in it.
Great show of sportsmanship right here, right now. Pork Chop Johnson.
Yeah, with Pork Chop getting out of the ring and raising Jeremy Rhodes' hand. Folks, Jeremy Rhodes has not been in a ring in 3 years. So tonight was his debut night with CPW and his first night back in the ring for 3 years. We saw an awesome swanton dive that came off the top rope from him. He missed, but it was still a great move to see.
If you can hear it, he's getting his official welcome to the CPW family right now.
Absolutely, and it's a well-deserved welcome here to CPW.
Absolutely.
That was a great first match to see Jeremy Rhodes compete against the Atomic Dog Pork Chop. So CPW now taking a brief intermission between their events this evening, giving the fans an opportunity to get into the ring with the real Kid USA and take a picture. This is something we haven't seen before at any of our events, whether it's been here or at VCW down in Norfolk.
No, I don't remember it. And the fact that they have the opportunity to get, like you said, get in there with the real Kid USA is pretty special up there, it looks.
Yeah, so one of the things that I've really enjoyed about these particular intermissions that they take in these indie events has been the ability and for the fans to interact with the performers. This is the time when they go into their merchandise tables, when the performers have a chance to really promote themselves. And it gives you that different sense, something that you don't get when we look at this on a major TV level.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's a great way, like I said earlier in a comment, what more do you want out of a Saturday night for your whole family to come and have an enjoyable night of wrestling in King William and Aylett, Virginia.
Yeah, we both traveled to get here. I traveled about an hour to get here this evening for the show. But it's been great to be able to get here. Just feet from us, we have AK God of War. And one of the guys that's part of this promotion that I want to give a lot of credit to is the guy who they have that does their ring announcing. Brent Fleener.
Mr. Fleener.
This guy, folks, if you have a chance to get to this show, you'll realize that he is as much a part of this show as the performers themselves. He feeds into the crowd. His voice and his ability to energize and get the crowd involved in the night is something that it's a talent that's lost.
Well, I mean, the entire night starts right there.
Absolutely.
It starts right there. We've been to these shows before when we've had to stand out in line for 30, 40 minutes at some point.
Sure.
He comes outside.
Yeah.
And is yelling and screaming and getting the crowd energized before the doors ever open.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't stop throughout the night. We're watching him right now. Like you said, we're feet from him right now, and he's still going.
Yeah, I mean, it really does not end for him. It's an opportunity for fans to see the lost art of ring announcing. That is definitely something that we, if we break our own rule here for just a second and we talk about WWE, Mean Gene Okerlund, Howard Finkel, those guys had legendary voices.
Sure.
And that was something that the crowd wanted to see just as much as they wanted to see the performers. For me, that's Brent Fleener in CPW. He is the voice of this promotion.
Oh, without a doubt. He's got one of those voices that you don't need to see him. Like you said, a Mean Gene Okerlund, a Fink.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't need to see those guys. All you need to do is hear them, and you know exactly who it is, and you know something is getting ready to happen. Something exciting is coming your way right now.
Yeah, and one of the things that I think that they do very, very well here, we've seen it more so tonight than in nights in the past, has been their ability to tie him into the storylines.
Yes.
They use him as an advocate to feed into whatever the storyline is at the moment. And it can be anything from someone coming from the back or to just interactions within the crowd. But they use him as an active part of it, which is something we don't see very often.
No, and I mean, I would challenge anybody to tell me the last time on any level that it was actually done and was worth remembering.
Yeah, I mean, you used to see this frequently when it came to, we think back to the Monday Night Wars. Your Tony Schiavone's, your Jim Ross, those guys, they were able to do it and tie that all in together.
Sure.
But he does it, we've mentioned before about scaling things down. We found out through our earlier conversation with him tonight that his actual real job is he's a salesman.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know that surprises me, as being a salesman means you have to be able to talk to people and you've got to be confident and be able to project your voice,
sure,
especially when you're in a setting where you've got a presentation that you're making to several people. But if we move past that and we talk about just the first half of the matches that we've seen so far tonight, what we have seen so far tonight has definitely been an elevated version of what we've seen before from CPW.
Without a doubt. I think we sat here and made a couple comments to each other during these matches. Just the production value alone.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Even let's start at the beginning of the night. The production value alone. The build-up tonight for these matches. The build-up on social media coming into these matches. We've seen them really elevate their game. And they came in with a point to prove tonight. And to me, they're proving it.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had a chance to talk with members of the production crew here, as well as RC himself, as well as Brent and multiple other folks. They were kind enough to let us broadcast tonight and tape this show here. Folks, this would be coming to you live if it wasn't for the fact that we can't get a signal out here in order to broadcast live. Otherwise, it would be coming to you live. But we are here in the King William Volunteer Fire Department in Aylett, Virginia, taping this episode for the fans and offering our real-time feedback as each of these matches end. Now, we will still do a full show review at a later date this week, because we're not giving ratings right now. We're just talking about what we're seeing and what the performers are bringing to us. So, and any opportunity I have to listen to KR Superstar talk makes it worth it.
Right, we are getting that opportunity right now. The only thing is we're not far away. He just doesn't stand above the crowd, if you get what I'm saying. So it's a good thing that voice carries.
It absolutely. We've mentioned before that the volume of his voice is higher than his height. And this is a great situation where we get to see that even standing on a chair, he may not look as tall as everybody else.
But he will argue you down that he is average height. I don't know. I'm going to need a tape measure ruling on this.
But my mother would probably call him knee-high to a grasshopper.
You're right.
So as we're wrapping up intermission here, folks, we're going to be covering the next matches as they happen. And as soon as those matches conclude, we'll be able to give you our feedback based off of what we see tonight. And we just saw the match between Gordon Braswell as he defended his CPW Mid-Atlantic title against another debut here at CPW, Triple Fear's Kevin Mears.
I tell you what, man, the more I see Gordon Braswell in these matches, I'm liking it more and more every time. I think this time was a better matchup for him because Triple Fear's Kevin Mears brought it just as hardcore as he did. Man, I tell you what, it's still going right now.
Yeah, there was a lot of high-impact moments there in that match. We saw some great moves from the rookie in this situation, being Kevin Mears. I saw several of his promos on Facebook prior to tonight's events, and the guy can talk as well. And he sells the gimmick well. I think he's put together well. He definitely looked his part tonight.
Sure he did.
And as we see Braswell, he's now limping out.
Yeah, he's limping right beside us.
Yeah.
Walking out. Well, kind of walking out.
Carrying his title, but
gold in hand.
Yeah, gold in hand. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we've only got one more match left tonight, and that's going to be the CPW Heavyweight Championship, if I'm correct. I may not be. But that was the only other match I saw on the card.
We may have a bonus match tonight.
That's certainly what it sounds like.
Kind of sounds like we're having a bonus match now.
Let's just see what we're going to get.
All right.
And at the conclusion of that match, we got to see the debut of two new tag teams here in CPW. One of those being Capital Vices, and then the other being Def Jam Vendetta. So, very high-impact match. There was a lot of great moves in it. There was actually several double-team moves that were in that match. Better than I would have anticipated from two debut teams.
No, absolutely. It was a high-impact match. Those were some big boys in there, pulling off some big boy, grown man moves.
Absolutely. One of the things that I was most impressed with was the size of the Capital Vice team, but their ability to still be able to move in the ring.
Oh, no doubt. They were billed at a combined weight of over 600 pounds.
Easily. So as we wrap up this particular match, that was our bonus match. We didn't know we were going to get that.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise.
As we are going into our main event of the night, where we're going to see Sledge Gibson defend his CPW Heavyweight Championship for the first time since winning it a month ago. He will defend that title against Ethan Cross here live at the King William Volunteer Fire Department in Aylett, Virginia. So I'm not really sure what we just witnessed. That just kind of fell apart in front of us.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I mean, there was a great match going on between Sledge Gibson and Ethan Cross. Then the referee is taken out accidentally with a briefcase, and then all hell broke loose.
I saw the ref go down. He got hit with the briefcase. There you go. There's our main event for the CPW March 23rd show. We're going to see Sledge Gibson take on Humphrey J. DuPont and KR Superstar, two of which, folks, we're going to get a chance to have go head-to-head in an interview on our Through the Curtain podcast.
Holy cow, this is huge. Huge right here.
This is a big moment for CPW. The entire CPW locker room came out to defend Sledge Gibson at the end of that. Despite the fact that we saw KR Superstar. And,
This is an illegal act by Stamper. I am filing an injunction with the governor, attorney general, lieutenant governor.
Hey, your best friend is in a lot of trouble. We'll figure something out. Hey, there's a height requirement to be on this show.
Well, that just happened. Folks, I'm sorry. We were just attacked by 2 members of the Munchkin Guild from the Wizard of Oz.
I tried to tell John Washington that there is a height requirement to be on this show.
Well, he was struggling to get over the side of the table to be able to talk.
I noticed that.
Well, folks, there you have it. That's going to be about it for this evening. I do want to give you kind of a brief wrap-up. We were on location here for the CPW Love Hurts event at the King William Volunteer Fire Department in Aylett, Virginia. We were able to see several matches featuring great talent. It was a good value for the folks that came out tonight.
It was a fantastic night.
I'm looking forward to our full show review that we'll do later this week. Due to circumstances, we even had a super fan get introduced into the ring tonight.
Man, I'll tell you, it was a crazy night. If you couldn't tell by what just happened here.
Yeah, that was completely unexpected. But it is definitely going to be an interesting night on March 23rd as we will be at the next CPW event. And again, we're going to have the opportunity to have KR Superstar and Sledge Gibson go head-to-head on this podcast. And I am super excited about what that is going to bring to our program.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm bringing to that program is a tape measure just to make sure that KR Superstar fits at the table.
Well, there's 2 questions there. It's does he fit or does his ego fit?
Well, we know that one doesn't.
Right. So, folks, there you have it. That's going to pretty much wrap up our evening here from King William, Virginia, as we bring to you the final moments of the Love Hurts show. It has been a great night here. The talent was great. The show was great. The value was there. The entertainment was there. I think every CPW fan got what they paid for tonight.
Absolutely, man. They were hitting on all cylinders tonight. Wonderful show, great evening, and I can't wait to see what is in store for us in March.
Yeah, not to mention that due to the circumstances that were brought upon by the superfan lasting more than 5 minutes, every single fan that comes to the March 23rd show is going to be let in for free.
Unreal. So, I mean, as a super fan, you should be taking pictures with everybody here.
Yeah, I mean, every single CPW fan owes him the gratitude of being able to get into that show for free.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, because I guarantee you every single person that's in here right now will be there. And I'll be completely honest, if you hear this show, if you weren't here tonight, you owe it to yourself to be at that show in March. There's no reason, there is zero reason for you not to attend the next CPW event in March.
Absolutely. Well, folks, that's going to wrap it up here for the folks at Through the Curtain. As usual, I am your host, Tommy T. I'm here.
Double K, you guys have a great night.
And we've got Smokey Z behind the scenes. See you guys the next time the bell tolls.